know once the YouTube is started, then we can get going.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Hans, you're good to start.
Good evening. Our apologies for the delay. Before we start, I'll remind the committee and members of the public that this meeting is being recorded, okay, and live streamed to the Township's YouTube channel. This meeting is being held electronically due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Precautions and measures are in place regarding social distancing to ensure the health and safety of those in attendance at the township offices. Anyone who requested to participate in this meeting will be invited to speak in the order of their applications being heard. I will now do a roll call of the committee for the benefit of the public watching this meeting. When I call your name, please wave at the camera and say here or present. I, Hans Potkamper, am present and will chair this meeting. Jim?
Present.
Linda?
Present.
Charles?
Present.
Reno?
Present.
Nancy?
Present.
I will now provide an explanation of the procedure for this meeting. Each application will be read by Nancy, and she will ask each applicant to make a brief presentation not to exceed 10 minutes. The committee will be given an opportunity to question the applicant. Any other person who has registered with the recording secretary and is wishing to address the meeting will either be given an opportunity or will be given a chance to say they do not wish to speak. Please make sure you have turned on your microphone and video and identify yourself clearly for the recording secretary. Anyone who has an opportunity to speak to the committee will make it, the committee will make a decision on the application. Once discussion on your application is done, please mute your microphone and turn off the video. You are free to leave the meeting at that point or listen to the remainder of the appearance. The applicants are asked that each applicant has are advised that each application has a 20-day appeal period as required under the Planning Act. The last day for such an application will be August 4th, 2021. At this time, I will ask any member of the committee if they have fiduciary conflict of interest. Does anyone?
I will say no.
Linda?
Nope.
Nope.
Tim? Charles?
Nope.
No, myself. There being none, I will ask Nancy to read the application description. Nancy?
The first application this evening is for minor variance application A15-2021 for Alvin Gingrich. The application as amended is for the property at 91 Catherine Street North, Crooks Tract Concession 1, east of the Grand River and Part Lot 2. The zoning of the property is agricultural, and the property contains a detached dwelling, livestock barns, buggy shed, and equipment hay shed. The applicant is requesting relief from section 6.22.5 of the on-farm diversified use regulations to reduce the required setback from 150 meters to approximately 100 meters between the adjacent residential use and a proposed metal fabrication shop / area of operation. The applicant is proposing to construct a new metal fabrication shop on the property. Alvin, if you'd like to unmute and address the committee for your application. Alvin, can you hear us? There we go.
Is that better?
That's good. Perfect, Alvin. We
Okay.
can hear you. You can address the committee. Thank you.
Okay, hello. It's Alvin Gingrich from 91 Catherine Street North. And yeah, Nancy pointed out that we're requesting relief from the 150-meter separation to our neighbor, the Longstaffs. And it was first at 76 meters, and they were not comfortable with that and the site. So we have shifted the site further north and a little bit east, I guess, north especially. And the closest area of operation is to be approximately 100 meters from that corner of that lot to their house. And we had a good visit with Peter and I, discussion on the site. So no, I don't really have a lot to say. I thank you for everybody for looking into this, and I'll just see what the decision of the meeting is. That's all I need to say, I think, unless there's something more.
Members of the committee? Linda?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Either to you, Mr. Gingrich, or to planning staff. So as I understand from the comments, and I understand from my understanding from the sketch, is that the shed is going to, or the building in which the actual fabrication is going to be taking place will be further away, some another 20 or 30 meters. Is that correct?
Yeah, whatever is a sufficient parking area and truck, yes, it will be 20, how many feet is that? I always think in feet, so
Okay.
I would think 15, 20 anyway, 20 up.
I'm just trying to understand what, normally when I think about the distance, I think of between two structures, so between the residence and the building, but we're talking about an area of operation. So I'm just trying to understand why the large area of operation in front, because you've got the shop and it looks like outdoor storage at the back, and then parking looks to be on the north. So I'm just trying to get a handle of,
Are you?
If
Sorry,
I
are
may,
you
if
still-
if I may to clarify some up there through you, Mr. Chair, the distance that's required is 150 meters from the
Right.
area of operation to the nearest residential property, the building
Right.
itself. So normally what these operations that are happening on farms is the building is not right at the limit of the area of operation for purposes of, they need laneways, they need storage areas. So that's why in the report it's indicated that it's not from the building itself, it's actually the area of operation itself is from the distance from 150. So in this case, the area of operation is 100 meters from the residential property at 67 Catherine Street. The building itself or structure will most likely through site plan process will be placed even further away from the actual building itself. But in our bylaws as indicated, it's actually the area of operation is 150 meters from any residential properties.
Linda?
Are you, Linda, still looking at the first site?
I've got the sketch from the original application. What I'm trying to do is just understand what that area in front of the area of operation, because understanding, and I appreciate that you've had a conversation, which I think is great with your neighbor and have worked out some things. So I think that's great. I personally am just trying to understand what might be going on in that buffer area between the limit of the area of operation and where the actual industrial fabrication is going to be taking place. Is there going to be anything in that area that's a concern? Should it be properly buffered? And I know you're looking at site plan, but that's where I'm coming from. I'm just trying to understand what outdoor impacts there might be in that particular area between the limit of the area operation and where the building would situate.
Well, we've modified the sites. So the one site is directly northeast of the new horse barn. So it's, if you see a farm lane heading east,
Yep.
it will all be north of that.
Okay.
So it's a totally different. When I heard you saying parking on the north side, I figured you were probably in the original picture.
Yep.
So Reno and Peter and I had a discussion and remodified
Okay.
our site. So.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have a question as well through you, Mr. Chair. Reno, so did Mr. Langstaff, was he informed of the change to the 100 meters? And then if so, what was his thoughts on that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, all applicants who registered were informed of the change. Mr. Langstaff did email me and asked with regards to concern of a drawing. There was no updated drawings, and I indicated to him that the drawing itself is a reference, not necessarily a requirement in the decision. The final decision, there is no drawing that is included in the decision, just the actual distance. So that's the critical factor that has to be taken into consideration, is that 100-meter distance has to be maintained, and that will be maintained through a site plan process application. Mr. Langstaff is here. He can comment on if he has any other concerns.
Any other questions from the committee? Mr. Langstaff, do you wish to comment on this application?
Yeah. So yeah, the comments that I attached, I guess mostly reference the original plan where it was 76 meters. So then Alvin and I had a couple of conversations, and I can understand why it has to be under 150 just because of the location of the farm cluster in my house. It would be kind of unreasonable to put it out in the middle of the field to reach the 150. So I was thinking to compromise if he could just shift the structure so that the new building, some of his buildings are between my house and the new building. I felt like that would probably absorb a lot of sound. So that's where we came up with the location that Alvin and I agreed on, which is basically what Alvin said. Anything north of that road running past the horse barn would be acceptable. So my comments that I attached aren't really relevant anymore. I agree with, like, I can accept Alvin's the 100-meter location that we came up with. So I'm fine with that.
Thank you very much. Any questions by members of the committee? Thank you, sir. There being no further comments, does the committee wish to, how does the committee wish to deal with this? Linda?
Mr. Chairman, I will move that minor variance application A15-2021 concerning the property known municipally as 91 Catherine Street North, which is requesting relief from section 6.22.5 to reduce the required setback between the area of operation and the adjacent residence at 67 Catherine Street North from 150 meters to no less than 100 meters be approved, subject to the condition one that the applicant submit and have approved a formal site plan application for the area of operation for metal fabricating shop and the accessory buildings.
Seconder? Charles, thank you. Any further comments? There being none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much, everybody, for your participation. Next application.
Sorry there, guys. Thank you. I will email and mail out that notice of decision. We'll move on to the next application for minor variance application A16 2021 for Ezra Brubaker for the property at 53 Catherine Street South. The property is zoned agricultural and settlement residential. It contains a detached dwelling, a livestock barn, buggy shed, farm sheds, and the on-farm business. The applicant is requesting relief from section 6.22.3 3 of the on-farm diversified use regulations in order to allow the second floor area of the existing building to be used for a clothing manufacturing retail operation. The second floor of the building is existing and used for additional storage and sewing areas. My apologies. Alex, if you'd like to unmute, Alex is speaking on behalf of the applicant tonight.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah, so I guess basically what happened is he was using the existing second floor space. Yeah, it's kind of additional sewing room and storage. I think really kind of what had happened is there's probably just some confusion because his one of his family members had got the property zoned for on-farm business. So I think when he kind of came in there and changed around, he didn't quite know that when he put that second floor in, that would have required a zone change. So yeah, we've looked at things kind of from a building code perspective, and then now just trying to get things sorted out from a zoning perspective. So that's, yeah, I think that's kind of all I would have to say.
Thank you. Any questions by members of the committee?
I have one through you, Mr. Chair.
Charles?
To planning staff, do we have a concern if we're going to let something like this go through that second floor has not been approved by building or had a permit for it? Is that something we should be concerned about?
Through you, Mr. Chair, Charles, yes, they have submitted a building permit with structural drawings through the building permit. That's they had to submit that. It has not been approved yet. They have to wait for the minor variance to go through. So yes, they have submitted structural drawings for this.
Sorry, I should have introduced myself maybe. I'm Alex, and so we're the structural engineers. That's how we got brought into the project. But we also do deal with some planning stuff. So,
Any further questions? Does anyone else wish to speak to this application? There being none, how does the committee wish to deal with this application? Charles?
I'll make a motion that minor variance application A16 2021 concerning the property municipally known as 53 Catherine Street South be approved to the one condition, the submission approval of a formal site plan application for the area of operation for the clothing manufacturing shop and the accessory building.
Seconder? Linda?
Yeah, second.
Any further discussion? There being none, may I have a vote on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? None. Motion is carried.
Hans,
Yes,
just for clarification, whose seconder did you pick up there? Both Linda and Jim raised at the same time.
Linda.
Linda, thank you. Sorry, Alex, I'll email the decision out and mail it out to the applicant. Thank you.
okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you. So I'll deal with the approval of minutes. Have members of the committee had an opportunity to review the minutes as circulated? Any comments or changes required?
Nope, I saw none.
Then I'll look for a motion.
Yes, I will make a motion that the Committee of Adjustment minutes for June 14th, 2021 be as printed and read.
Seconder? Charles, thank you. All in favor? Motion is carried. And since we have nothing further to discuss, I will declare the meeting to be over. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.